So the Miami Heat try to keep the plays they run as simple as they can and rely on their talent and teamwork to win them games. But playing like that can present its own kind of problems. Coach Spoelstra said, quote, "The challenge is not getting bored with some..."
Never stop, y'all. To the stars. She's up all night to the sun. I'm up all night to get some.
Welcome to 2K Sports, and we've got basketball. I'm Damon Bruce. Friday Hoops Fest coming up next. It's the Miami Heat facing off against the Los.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's presentation of Noche Latina in the NBA. An annual tradition celebrating diversity and lineups for both teams. First for the Heat. Then there's Jimmy Butler, and it's Robinson in at the 4. And then for the Los Angeles Lakers, Schroeder is out there with Caldwell Pope. And at the center position, an impressive combination of size and skill. The 7'1" Spaniard, Marc Gasol. Then it's LeBron James. And it's Davis in at the 4 slot. And here's LeBron outside. Can't get it to go.
You know, every great player needs someone to push them to be better. LeBron said last year that, you know, that's what Kevin Durant does with him. I think he works as hard as he does, knowing that Durant is coming to try to take his spot as the best player in the league.
And down it goes, jamming that one home.
Just a remarkable jam. These fans' jaws are on them stuff right there. Major highlight reel material.
Lakers on D. And going back to LeBron for the time being, he's solidified Clark is standing. I think everyone would agree he's the best player in the NBA.
Well, how about 4 league MVP trophies to his credit? One of only 5 players in league history to win that many. One of only a few players to be both MVP of the league and MVP of the finals in the same year. So, enough said.
We're about 1 minute into the first. Outside Butler. Working on James. And that'll be Miami as it goes on the bound. Let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
Earlier I spoke with Frank Vogel. When we talked about what they'll try to do on defense, he told me they're going to have to do everything they can to neutralize their opponent's high flyers, saying, quote, "We can't play above the rim like these guys, so we'll have to do our best to keep them away from the hoop." Gentlemen, easier said than done.
Thank you, Doris.
Usually if he gets to the rim, he's converting it into points. But the defense stood tall there.
And Caldwell Pope gets the basket. About a minute and a half through the first quarter.
Lakers ended up 17 and 13 against Eastern Conference teams last year, but that wasn't really a dominating effort. Certainly not what you would expect from a playoff team. But this is how you completely rattle an opponent's rhythm.
Yeah, you know, such terrific on-the-ball defense to trigger the transition opportunity.
And it wasn't just the tough D, it was the exclamation point they put on the fast break with the slam.
And Miami calls their first time out of the game. Well, and to make the playoffs in the West, you do need to have a record similar to that of the Lakers against the East. You know, Steve, no team that made the postseason in the West had a record below 500. So the Lakers took care of what they needed to.
Well, you know what's odd, Kevin, is that in the shortened season before, when the Lakers were the cream of the Pacific Division and everything was going well, they only went 500 against the East. So, you know, if they want to bounce back this season, they'll need to not give away games and make sure they keep their out-of-conference record better than 500.
For Los Angeles, they've gone 4 of 5 from the field so far. Tipped. It's stolen by Bradley. Now here's Bradley, the fast break opportunity. Butler kicks to Bradley. Wide open look. Rebound the Lakers. Now here is Davis. The shot's good from Schroeder. Schroeder's got 5.
You know, Heat head coach Eric Spoelstra worked his way up from the very bottom in that organization. I mean, he got his start as a video coordinator, and through years of hard work and dedication has really become an outstanding coach.
If you're just tuning in, we played about 2.5 minutes here in the first. Back to LeBron, and out of bounds as the Heat gain possession.
Such a careless pass. You've got to keep your head in the game here.
Here's Tyler. It's a 7-point spread. And back to Coach Eric Spoelstra as a guy who got his start as a video coordinator, picking the game apart. Steve, he's very comfortable with the new advanced stat movement, analytics in the NBA.
Yeah, and I've had a chance to speak with him quite a bit. He says that the way they use advanced stats is just as a conversation piece in the coaching room. Their analytics department will bring them various information, and it will force them to ask questions, which is very healthy for a coaching staff to do.
Butler, a screen on LeBron. Here's Tyler, covered by LeBron. And it's Bradley off the drive. Number 13. Beautiful dish, and the layup goes down.
Well, he's so good at recognizing where the openings are and getting the ball to the rim.
Here's LeBron. Uses the glass to finish the layup.
Another nice bucket down low. They've really been able to work the ball into the post effectively so far.
Yeah, I think that could really set things up well the rest of the game. Pound the ball inside and let your perimeter players play off your bigs.
And a moment here to take a look at some hustle stats for the Lakers.
Boy, their frenetic defense has really been impressive, putting a lot of pressure on ball handlers and turning them over.
They also came out of the locker room with their running shoes on. I mean, their transition game has been full throttle. Only 3 teams in the entire Eastern Conference have a better than 500 record against the West, and no surprise the Heat were one of those 3, and they were dominant against Western Conference opponents all year long.
So timeout called here, the first for Los Angeles. Mark, adding on to what you were saying about the Heat versus the West, they ended up 25-5, which is incredible, Steve, given how many tough teams that are in the Western Conference.
That's amazing, Kevin. They had a better record against the West than they did against the East in terms of their winning percentage. So I think that speaks to just how motivated Miami was when they went out on the road to the West in particular to really show everybody how good they were.
Lakers leading by 4. It's Davis on the wing. Shoots it. They get it again. Here's Piatkowski. Some solid defense there from Olynyk. Miami's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. 54 seconds left to play in the first. That falls. Nice feed that time from Andre Iguodala. Olynyk's got his first bucket in this one. For Los Angeles, they've gone 7 of 11 from the field to begin the game. LaRusso. And again, no good by the Lakers.
Well, the shot was there for him, and he had to take it. I don't care if he didn't convert it. He's got to take that every time.
Butler goes in. And out of bounds as the Lakers gain possession.
That's a major mental mistake. I mean, there's no other way for me to describe it. He didn't know where he was on the court. That's a basic fundamental. You have to be alert to where you are.
And Miami making a change here. And here's LeBron outside. That's good. LeBron's got 7 points.
He's such a well-rounded offensive player. He's got a little bit of everything.
Shot clock and game clock separated by less than 6 seconds. Toupon. And the Heat, another 3.
How about the response? Retaliation. Impressive, huh, guys?
I'll say exactly that as well. Nice job to recover those 3 points right away.
Davis with the bucket.
They've done well at taking advantage of some late defensive rotations and getting the ball into the paint.
Yeah, they've been the aggressors, Clark, and getting the ball inside into that lane area has been huge for them.
Dragic against LaRusso. Tupon. No good on that last second attempt there. Oh, we've seen some great shots in the first. Welcome back, everyone. It's Noche Latina in the NBA as we resume action. And taking a look at the Lakers' performance here, Clark and Steve, what have they been doing or not doing in the game?
Well, the thing they tried to establish right away was the presence down low. You look at the points in the paint. I think that's been the difference.
Yeah, and I like the fact, Steve, that they're not settling for the outside shots. I mean, go in there and get what you want. Keep attacking the rim.
Okay, well, let's check in with Doris Burke reporting from our sideline in this game. Doris, take it away.
Thank you, Kevin. J.J. Hickson last season was 4th in the league in rebounds per minute. He says, quote, all gas, no brakes. That's the way I was taught to play the game. But he says he's much more than just a hustle guy, adding that calling him that takes away from my overall game. I can shoot, I can make basketball plays. He did improve his jump shot last season, and at 25, he has plenty of room to grow, guys.
Well, as his shooting comes along, that's a great way for him to really find his niche, Doris. Thanks.
Well, what a series it was in the finals a year ago. Such great basketball. Two teams that like to play up-tempo. And I'll tell you, the Spurs had Miami. They had the series in the bag. They were one play away from wrapping it up in Game 6, but the miracle comeback from the Heat that led to the Game 7 victory and another title for the Miami Heat.
That falls. Nice feed that time from Andre Iguodala. He has 6.
He can be a forgotten man in their offense sometimes, but you know the defense still needs to keep an eye on him.
Here's LaRusso. Let's go. And the Lakers take on 2 more. Clark, that was interesting because the games themselves weren't particularly close through the first half of the series, but things started to get really tight when they left San Antonio after Game 5.
How about that, Kevin? You talk about things tightening up. We had a game for the ages in Game 6. 28.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, what a huge play.
Wow, and that sort of showmanship is just deflating right now to a team trying, Clark, to get back into this game like this.
Yeah, definitely a jam with emphasis. A big apostrophe or exclamation point. How about maybe even a question mark, partner?
Well, you know what the questions are about now. It's their defense, that's for sure.
Back to Iguodala. We're now about 2 minutes into the second quarter. Olynyk with it. Matthews covering. Good ball movement here by Miami. No good from Dragic. Lakers leading by 8. Morris passes to Matthews, and it's blocked. And here is Iguodala. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. And it's the Lakers on the break. Matthews leading the charge. And that one's good. And the Lakers lead by 10.
Boy, such outstanding patience and decision-making for them offensively.
Yeah, absolutely. Their ball movement has been outstanding. They are piling up the assists.
And the Heat call time here.
You know, last season, a lot of folks had the Lakers picked as the super team in the West, the team that would maybe challenge Miami and LeBron, but from the start, it just never was a cohesive group and really had one of the most disappointing seasons in the Lakers' history.
And Miami making a change here. Silva covered by LeBron. Stolen away. And LeBron with a clear path to the hoop. A huge slam, the perfect end of the fast break.
Textbook example there of how to use defense to create offense.
Yes, beautiful transition play after the steal all the way to the basket.
Wasted no time going from defense to offense.
Well, it feels like they're starting to pick up the intensity as the game itself starts to get a little more tight and close.
And James pulls it down. Clark, as you said, the Lakers had a lot of lofty expectations put on them, but you never know what's going to happen when a team is put together. And Steve, they just couldn't reach that bar that was set so high for them.
Yeah, the expectations were so high, Kevin, but injury issues cost them all season long. Nash, Howard, Powell, and of course Kobe with the Achilles at the end of the year. And that unit only started 7 games all season together, so they never really were able to develop any chemistry.
Let's go to our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, what do you have?
Guys, as you know, the Miami Heat try to keep the plays they run as simple as they can and rely on their talent and teamwork to win them games. But playing like that can present its own kind of problems. Coach Spoelstra said, quote, "The challenge is not getting bored with simplicity. Simple is what works, though, as evidenced by their back-to-back titles, guys."
Well, Doris, sometimes it makes sense to keep it simple. Thanks.
Probably the biggest knock on Anthony Davis you could make his rookie season is that he missed a lot of time with injuries, and that's really not something you knock a guy for. Ankle, a concussion. He missed several stretches.
.102 left in the second quarter. LaRusso. No good on the three. And for Anthony Davis, his slender build, how he weathers the physicality of the NBA in some people's minds, Steve, is a question mark.
Well, it's always hard to predict when a player comes out of college after his freshman year just how much more he's going to fill out. But he's got broad shoulders. It looks like he's got the ability to add muscle. And I think as he does that, he's going to be probably best suited to play the power forward position long term rather than center.
And the Lakers call time here. And the Heat making a change here. There's 37 seconds left in the first half of the game. Gets it to go.
They are not rotating nearly quickly enough on defense down low. Got to get quicker there.
And even if it costs them some foul trouble, I mean, they need to start putting some bodies on bodies. Be physical.
Knocked loose. Back to Robinson. He dishes it to Tyler. Passes to Robinson for three. The rebound by the Lakers. Here's Tucker. Matthews left side. And it's out of bounds. The Heat will take it the other way. Here's Tyler. The shot is off. So as we conclude the first half, so far fairly one-sided.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
13. Welcome to halftime. I'm your host.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
Welcome back as we return here at the Staples Center in downtown Los Angeles.
You know, last season, an NBA owner, and we won't name who it was, mentioned that the Lakers could potentially amnesty Kobe Bryant. Now, he knew that he is still a top shooting guard and plays like a superstar, but his contract really is up there at almost $30 million this season.
He feeds it to Bradley. Butler on the wing. 6 to shoot. LeBron with the block. Out of bounds. Miami takes possession. The Heat trail by 17. Well, we know the Lakers have got, Steve, a lot of issues with their cap. It's only going to get worse this year and continue to spiral in the wrong direction. There's even been talk among the writers that cover the Lakers about the possibility of amnestying Kobe Bryant.
I can't imagine. I mean, he's played his entire 17-year career here in L.A., 5 championships, one of the all-time great Lakers. But it's a cap question. Do they want to spend all that money for a player who's going to miss a lot of the regular season with that Achilles injury?
Miami no good on that time either.
That's not how you want to kick off the second half with 3 straight misses.
Timeout called the Lakers.
A lot of people thought the East would be a cakewalk for Miami last year, but Indiana made sure that wasn't going to be the case. What a series with the Pacers using their size and strength to pound Miami down low. And eventually, the Heat were able to pull it out, but boy, was that a tough series.
Los Angeles leading by 17. Here's Schroeder. That's in there. Davis with the assist. Davis has got 3 assists in the game. For Miami, they've gone 0-3 and are still looking for that first bucket here in the second half. And just to touch back on the Eastern Conference Finals, went to a Game 7 where Miami ran away with the game. But, you know, Clark, if it weren't for the heroics of LeBron earlier in the series, it could have been the Pacers that took on San Antonio in the finals.
You know, I was thinking a little bit about 2 former ABA teams meeting in the NBA Finals, but the Heat managed to steal Game 1, and I thought that proved to be the difference in the end. That was a game the Pacers had and didn't squeeze. But the way these 2 teams are constructed, they should be seeing a lot more of each other in the near future. And I think that's great for the league because whenever they meet up in the regular season or the playoffs, it's always been a battle the last couple of years.
Nice rivalry developing between those 2.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
A good one brewing there.
The time for the ball. And that'll be Miami as it goes out of bounds. The Heat retain possession. And the Heat call time here.
And, you know, for the Lakers last season, a lot of turmoil. You think about the coaching change, but it wasn't just that. It was a whole system change.
Why do you think it didn't work out?
Well, they only gave it 5 games, Kevin. I mean, Mike Brown was 1-4 when he got fired. And that's impossible to install an offense and expect it to work that quickly. So, I mean, I think the offense would have been fine if they had given it time and given Mike Brown some time to install it.
Here's Tyler, defended by Schroeder. Stolen by Schroeder. And here's the fast break. Davis throws down the breakaway jam.
Boy, the floor really opened up for him there.
It sure did. I mean, that was a very late reaction from the defense there.
Tyler dishes to Bradley. He kicks to Robinson. Drains it from beyond the arc. Robinson's got 6 points.
You know, offensively, he's just one of those guys that needs a touch of space to get his shot up. That's all. And if he runs his man off a screen or somehow finds an opening, well, that's it. He's going to let that thing go.
Whereas almost all players go through their ups and downs, Steve, that's not the case with him. He just goes about his business the same way every night.
Outside Bradley. Dishes to Robinson. For the 3. Robinson missing again.
And that'll increase their rebounding advantage. They've definitely been winning that battle on the board.
Well, the main thing is they haven't allowed many second chance opportunities. And that is always going to allow you to maintain your lead.
Bradley with the ball. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. Back to Robinson. Number 13. And he lays it straight in.
Guys, he shot a very good percentage today, and they've needed it.
Timeout called the Lakers.
The Heat marched their way to the best record in the league last season, 66-16, and the ability to win on the road, a big part of that league best record.
And back to the Heat and their play on the road. 29 wins for them as the visiting side, and that was in another category compared to every other team in the league. Steve, nobody else really even came close.
No, nobody did, and I'll tell you what, when they went on their huge winning streak, it wasn't like they did it all at home. In fact, 13 of those 27 games during their winning streak were on the road, and that's not easy to do.
Just under 3.5 minutes played here in the third quarter. Here's LaRusso, defended by Tyler. LaRusso, no good. The Heat trail by 20. Butler kicks to Tyler. Now the pass to Iguodala. Feeds to Robinson. Fires the three. That falls. Nice feed that time from Andre Iguodala. 9 points for Robinson.
That is not enough coverage. Got to do better than that defensively. Basically no coverage. I mean, defense did not look very good there.
LaRusso. True on the 14-footer. 7 points in the game.
That's really set them apart today, guys. That success from the mid-range.
Well, these are two teams that clearly you've seen the difference in offensive philosophies here.
Here's Tyler. He's guarded by LaRusso. Here's Iguodala. They get it back. The kick outside to Butler. He passes it to Robinson. But they'll recover it. Robinson can't get that one to fall. To the paint. LaRusso. Shot is blocked. And they're able to recover. Pass to Gasol. The three. The Lakers rebound. LaRusso. Another miss. Boy, they had their chance there, but couldn't get it to go.
They've been able to get out to this lead without really getting a very reliable performance out of him from the field.
Here's Butler. Rejected by Matthews. And they'll keep possession. Banked in off the glass. He's got 12.
He got a great read of where that miss was going, and that allowed him to be the first guy to it and get the putback.
LeBron James on the wing. Good on the three-point shot. And the Lakers lead by 20. 7 seconds left in the third. Knocked away. Here's Gasol. The 3 quarters of play all in the books. And this one all but over already. Lakers ahead. Deliver. And we're getting underway here in the fourth quarter. The scoreboard tells the story in this matchup, but we'll see how much things change up here. All right, well, look at how the hustle game has been going for the Lakers.
Forcing turnovers, you want to convert at the other end. That's what this club has done.
They've been firing on all cylinders in the transition game, too. I mean, they've really run the break well.
That's good. 16 points for LeBron.
I'll tell you what I love about him. His ability to finish even while absorbing contact. He is so strong. Even with defenders hanging all over him, he continues to finish at the basket.
And he is a persistent defender, too, Steve. I mean, even if he gets caught behind on the break, he'll bust his behind to get back into the play and maybe come up with a block at the last second. Boy, I love it. Active hands on the steal, active feet on the fast break.
And Clark power on the dunk.
And guys, this is just too close of a game to be giving the ball up like that and then failing to get back in transition.
And the basket by Olynyk.
Something starting to click for this team, guys. You can feel it. The three-pointers are dropping. Their offense is flowing.
They've had a great second half from long range.
Morris kicks to LeBron. Trying to answer back, but that three is off the mark. Outside Butler. The dish now to Tyler. Three-pointer. And the Heat, another three.
These defenders are putting up very little resistance to the three-point shot.
And it's killing them. That's 4 of the last 5 baskets they've allowed have been three-pointers.
Morris kicks to LeBron. He dishes it to Morris. Fires from deep. No good. And the Heat going the other way now. In transition, here comes Miami. Oh, and the jam by Butler.
Fellas, that two-hand monster slam was vicious.
I don't think there was anyone, and I mean anyone, that could have stopped him on that one.
I'm glad they didn't try. You don't want anybody getting hurt out here.
Timeout called the Lakers.
Jimmy Butler was the last pick of the first round back in 2011 by the Bulls. And last season, I tell you what, he really solidified his place in the rotation, guys. He's still developing his outside shot, but he brings an awful lot to light to the table.
The Heat making a switch here. Bucket stay with it on the offensive glass, getting it down.
You know, that putback's about as easy as it's going to get. You have to put a body on someone down there.
Well, no box out, that's the result you get right there.
Stripped it away. Jumps up. And then LaRusso with the dunk.
Guys, that's simply superb. Ball pressure, a run out, and then a dunk in transition.
Exactly, Clark, what they wanted. The aggressive defense to lead to.
Yeah, points in transition.
That's why you want to make the other team feel uncomfortable handling the ball, because you can get easy points out of it at the other end.
The open shot, Butler. It's rebounded by LaRusso.
When he's wide open like that, he'll rarely miss those.
It's tipped. Davis with it. Robinson picks him up. That's good. 13 points for Anthony Davis.
He's created some good opportunities for himself and made the most of them.
And Morris comes over to help. Rockets the pass to Robinson. Goes back up. And that's 2 points on the layup.
Well, most of all, I just love the work he puts in on the offensive glass. So many of his points come on putbacks just because of sheer hustle.
And another thing he's known for all over the league is what an angry shot blocker he is. He does it with an attitude when he knocks it out of the air and sends it behind the shooter.
Avery Bradley, he's checked in for Miami. Lakers leading by 21. LeBron outside. Beyond the arc. That's good. LeBron's got 7 points for the Clippers.
He's been so reliable again today, Kevin. And they need his points, and he's providing them.
And it's Dragic off the drive. Bradley blocked.
Such a solid performance for them inside. Their rebounding has been terrific.
Yeah, that's just one of the few things that have gone their way today.
Back to Dragic. It's rebounded by LaRusso. Here are the Lakers. They're on a 12-4 run. Davis. Good, and the assist goes to LeBron. LeBron's got his 5th assist in this one.
This game's over, guys. I think we can say that with certainty.
Yeah, I agree with you there. We have officially reached garbage time.
Back to Butler. Outside Bradley. Lets the free fly. The Lakers with the rebound.
And he's having all sorts of problems with his shot.
I'm not sure he even has a shot right now, Steve, to be quite honest. Not a reliable one anyway.
Morris with the bucket.
When it rains, it pours. Another jump shot tickles that twine.
Yeah, they've got it flowing right now, guys. They're putting together a nice little run.
Butler kicks to Bradley. Number 13. And Davis sends it back. Bradley against LaRusso. The shot is off. And it's Miami the other way. Now Dragic. Back to Robinson. It's Bradley on the wing. .41 seconds left in the 4th quarter. There's the bucket. Good.
It's a great play under the boards for him, and You know, that's the standard that he sets. It seems like all those second chance points, I mean, they're there for him game in, game out.
Here's Piatkowski. And another three for the Lakers.
Well, they're going to walk out of here with a win and send this crowd home happy.
A very solid performance in a lot of areas for them.
Miami's gotten off 4 3-pointers in the final quarter, and 2 of them have fallen. Butler goes in. The layup missed.
Great job defending the hoop there.
So important to have good presence defensively inside.
Can't drop the tough three-pointer. He'd have gone only 6 of 14 from the field in the fourth. Down low. Here's Bradley. LeBron with the block. And he's able to get it back. Robinson for 3. They get the rebound. They shoot again. And it's Butler laying it in. And so it's the Lakers taking care of business here. Sunday's Clark, everything.
Everybody get up.